We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling show. I am your man behind the microphone, Schaolar Jeff. To my right, the current reigning and defending Scholars of Wrestling champion of the world, Schaolar Tarek. What's going on tonight, sir?
Yowie,
wow. Got a bit of a cough there, sir?
Oh, yeah. Yowie, wowie. We're finally here. It's Money in the Bank weekend. Money. Yeah.
And we are looking to get whatever we can get our hands on. Isn't that right, Schaolar Brian?
Indeed. The actual WWE doesn't make you care about this event. The only thing that matters in this establishment is that right there.
Yes, if you're listening to us in audio form, Schaolar Brian is pointing to the Scholars in the Bank Biefcase. That's right, the Biefcase. It will be on the line for both me and Brian to compete for, so we can get a shot at Tarek's Scholars of Wrestling Championship. Whoever wins this prediction show will win the Biefcase, eligible for a title shot and can cash in.
Who wins the prediction show between the two of you? I'm just here for the fun.
Of course you are. Hey, you better be there for a little bit more than fun, because if we outscore you and we win the Biefcase for the night, we can cash it in for that title.
Right. That's absolutely
right. So don't
right.
rest on your laurels, buddy. But before we get to all that fun, we do have a sad little bit of news that we would be remiss if we didn't talk about, because we lost two good figures this past week in the world of wrestling. We lost Silver King earlier in the week, and not only just a few hours as of the recording of this show, we also lost one Ashley Mazzaro at the tender age of 39. That is, I don't care who you are, that is way too young.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Silver King wasn't much better in his 50s, which is, in my opinion, is still too young.
It's been a rough week.
It has been a sad few days in the world of wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember watching Silver King in the days of WCW. And even though he was never truly a mainstay of the United States wrestling scene beyond that, I still had a lot of fond memories of him. Same thing with Ashley Mazzaro. She was always one of those figures who was around for a while. Never was she the most cunning wrestler? No. But at the same time, you could tell that she was still enthused at it on every single conceivable level. And to see two of these figures like this who were so passionate, regardless of when you started watching, it's just a tragedy to see someone like them die to just at so an early age.
One in the ring and one trying to get back in the ring. Silver King actually died trying to pin somebody. Had a heart attack right in the middle of the ring. Went down for the pin, never got back up again. And Ashley had been training for a return to the indie scene, and that's what's shocking about this. Like, you had no idea. They don't even know what happened yet. The way that it sounds from the tweets could either be one of two things: an overdose or suicide. So it's one of those, another lost soul.
Yeah, so sad, and hopefully we don't see any more of these for quite a while, because there's too much to look forward to in the world of wrestling, and it's nothing worth dying for. But in the meantime, on a brighter note, we still have quite a lot of competition to look forward to this Sunday in the world of professional wrestling. WWE still has something that it can offer, so let's get right into it with this year's predictions for Money in the Bank 2019. Starting with the pre-show, we've got Tony Nese versus Ariya Daivari for the Cruiserweight Championship. Gentlemen, who do you got?
I'll go first. Champ goes first. I'm just gonna say Tony Nese. He just won the thing. I'm not following 205 Live, so I really got nothing to back it up. I'm just basically going on instinct on this one, so I'm going to say Tony Nese.
The only reason they would put the belt on Ariya Daivari here would be because of the show that's coming up, the Superstar Showdown in Saudi Arabia. That would be the only reason. But I don't think if they're gonna put the title on him, they're gonna do it at the showdown in Saudi Arabia, not beforehand. So
you're thinking they're just going to pull a Buddy Murphy with the last Super Showdown?
It would
Just
not
have them
surprise.
have them win it in their home country?
It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, Tony Nese to win here, and because once again, this is 205 Live, and they like their long title reigns. So I don't think that Tony Nese would be the first one where they go month and done. No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. We're gonna make this 3 for 3. I'm gonna go for Tony Nese for all the reasons that you just specified. I don't think Ariya Daivari right now is quite what they're looking for. However, if they do want to switch it up and appeal to the hometown crowd, I think they're gonna do it at the next big Saudi Arabia show, but no sooner. Next match on the pre-show, we also have Daniel Bryan and Rowan going up against the Usos.
Very interesting match to have on the pre-show.
Do we know whether this is for the titles or not?
I think it is. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, either way, I don't think that you start up the tag team of Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan and then have them lose. Right, whether it's for the titles or not. And also, I don't think you give the Usos in a non-title capacity. I don't think you give the Usos the win here, wild card or not, because they're on a different show. So, I mean that's the one thing about the wild card that you can be like, okay, you can no longer be confident in your picks for different shows facing each other but. I don't think it's good business to put Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan together, have them actually start teaming up instead of just Eric Rowan being the
Diesel.
And you don't put them together, start them teaming up, and have them lose their second match after winning the titles in their first one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree, not with the Dynamite promo that they started their reign with. You cannot drop a bomb like that and not capitalize on it. It was too good. I'm too enthused in this team right now. I'm going to have to go with Daniel Bryan and Rowan to win.
Another 3 for 3. I'm going with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Tag team title match or not. One, I think maybe we'll get some involvement of the Revival since they're having a pathetic feud with the Usos. And also, if it's for the tag titles, I want to see the Vegans versus the Meat Lovers and Heavy Machinery. So, yeah, that story is just...
The mental image alone wins the day.
The idea of it is so good.
I want to see it.
Put the titles on the line. It has to happen.
So there we go.
Like the next time we'll see a backstage segment with Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Hell, let it be even at Money in the Bank. They win. They're walking by and they talking about how they'll save the planet and all that, and they just run into Heavy Machinery again, eating nothing but steak.
Steaks and weights.
Steaks and weights.
Steaks and weights.
And again, more fuel to start that feud. Fuel to start that feud with. Bleh.
Yes, words.
Words. I don't say them well.
No, sir, you don't.
Thank you.
But moving on to the main card, we've got Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Oh yeah, it's my turn, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
I'm flat out. I'm going to go with Samoa Joe. I'm thinking this is going to be a good back and forth, but I do not see Samoa Joe losing that title. I just don't do it, and I think that we're going to see an exciting match, but ultimately Samoa Joe is going to walk away the champion.
Seconded with Samoa Joe, mainly focusing on the fact that we're having some sort of hint at a potential feud, his next potential feud with Bray Wyatt.
That could be very, very interesting.
that could be very interesting. And if that's so, I was like, okay, make the United States title a little relevant, putting the title on Uncle Bray. Just put a belt on him right away with this new character that he introduced on the new Firefly Funhouse. Okay, I'm all in, and it looks like he's gonna go face from another tweet that he posted to Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns,
that's
apologizing for his atrocities of the past, and then P.S. to Jon Moxley as well. It's like
that's why I don't take any stock in feud making tweets from Bray Wyatt, because he's just all over the board right now. He's talking to everybody. It's like I don't believe that his first feud is Samoa Joe. He just comments on everybody's shit now. So it's like, okay, but there's two trains of thought going into this match, because for whatever reason, Dominic is at ringside.
Because they had to bring him back because they totally forgot. Oh, yeah, that's right. He's a part of this feud, isn't he?
So
since WrestleMania.
You've got the crowd of people who think it's the WWE is going to go, oh, happy day. Dominic is going to help Rey Mysterio win the title, and we'll move on from there. Or you've got the train of thought that I'm going to go with. Something happens to Dominic, Rey Mysterio gets all concerned, and that's when Samoa Joe sneaks up and gets him in the Coquina Clutch, which is what I'm going with. Samoa Joe to retain the title. You put him up as a destroyer at WrestleMania. You've kind of fallen off of that a little bit. Let's bring it back.
Yes, I'm definitely going to have to agree with you. So, again, we're going to break this eventually. Maybe we'll break it with this next match. The Miz versus Shane McMahon. Steel cage, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. I believe it's your turn, Fool. What do you got?
It is my turn, and this is a challenging one for me. Will they keep this Shane McMahon best in the world going with this? I'm trying to think. How did they end SmackDown with Shane on top of it, winning the that handicap match? So I'm gonna go with the Miz. I really got nothing. I got nothing with both Shane McMahon feuds right now. So
I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, I'm picking the Miz, and the only reason I'm picking the Miz is that I want this feud to be done, and the only way it makes sense to end this feud is the Miz getting revenge for his father. So,
but I'm also thinking of the fact that Shane is pretty much starting his own stable with Elias and Bobby Lashley. It's like, could they get involved in this one? It's a steel cage match, so pretty much anything goes. So that's something you also got to add into this.
I'm not convinced of that, just because yes, this does seem like a feud ender, but I think there might be some attempts, but I don't think it's going to be obvious. There won't be any sort of obvious, really disastrous interference. That being said, I'm going to go with the Miz for this one, just because that there needs to be some sort of payoff already.
There is a payoff. Shane McMahon's the best in the world.
A better payoff than that.
Shane McMahon, the best in the world, with his lackeys, Elias, the B team, and Bobby Lashley.
Oh yeah, that's right. He has the B team.
What a rowdy crew.
Hey, the B team is his Mean Street Posse.
The Mean Street Posse was the Mean Street Posse. I wish the Mean Street Posse were back again. But anyway, nostalgia bomb. Yes, I do. I used to love the Mean Street Posse.
You don't want them back.
I want them back. Bring back the Mean Street Posse.
Shane McMahon is relaunching his new corporation, and the B team is his Patterson and Briscoe.
Yes.
Or you can bring back your old friends, Pete Gas, Rodney, and Joey Abs. I mean, come on.
They could be the security. They could be J&J security.
What good is nepotism if you can't give your friends jobs? Am I right?
Indeed.
Anyway,
Mostly, I just want the return of the sweater vests.
we can make them rock. Just
With
saying.
their lame ass theme song.
That theme song was great.
It was so lame.
It stood out.
It was generic as hell. It did not stand out.
It was
No,
great.
it didn't.
I loved it.
No, it wasn't.
I loved it.
I didn't.
Well, speaking of things we love, let's move on to something that everybody loves. Leukemia and walking with Elias. Roman Reigns versus Elias.
Wow.
Who do you got?
That got dark real quick. But
Brian's go.
come on. Who do you...
You're walking with Elias, aren't you?
No.
No?
I'm charging with the big dog.
You're going with the long shot that is a post-leukemia Roman Reigns.
I am charging with the big dog. That's it. Yes.
Well, you know what? Fool, what do you got?
If anybody says
The
any
man who has the
differently, I'm
eternal
gonna slap
Super
you.
Mario star.
If anyone says any differently, I'm gonna reach through the screen and slap you. That's it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Roman.
It's happening again. I hate the wild card rule. I hate now they're pushing they're pushing Roman Reigns as the only superstar that actually matters in WWE. No, thank you. I'm happy he's able to beat leukemia and all that, but it's back to basically why we didn't like him in the first place.
Yeah,
It's
it
the whole,
got stale fast.
It's nothing against the guy. He's a great wrestler. It's just now it's
They don't package him correctly.
they package
If they
him.
packaged him correctly, he'd be one of the best. But they've turned him into Super Cena Volume 2. We hated Super Cena. What makes you think we're gonna like Super Reigns? That's it.
He's super. It's not just Volume 2. It's Super Cena times 2.
It's Super Cena, except now he's super in remission, y'all.
Leukemia jokes. Boo.
Roman Reigns matches, boo.
Indeed.
At the cost of Elias, your boy.
More like my wife's boy, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we got Seth Rollins next versus AJ Styles. It's my turn. As much as I want to see AJ Styles win this thing, I don't think it's going to happen right now. I think the feud is going to keep on keeping on, but for tonight, whether through shenanigans or legit win, I'm thinking Seth Rollins is going to retain.
Yes, the only thing I can say, there can't be a clean, clear winner in this match, but Seth Rollins does walk out the champion.
I
what do you got?
want to be the difference maker, but not for this match. So yeah, Seth Rollins.
I predict that this is going to be a very good, exciting match, as both men are known to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that they don't go the route of Shinsuke AJ, which was big lead up, and then the first match they didn't go all out. You know what I mean? It just kind of was there. It just kind of happened. They were going through the motions, getting ready to build to the bigger matches that came after that. But they did that at WrestleMania, the underperforming match. So I'm like, first of all, they did this too early.
Mm-hmm.
They brought AJ Styles over, and then they just kind of threw this thing together. But they've backed themselves into a corner because you can't have a clear loser. Here, you can't have a clear winner. You can't have a clear loser. There has to be some bullshit in order to get this feud to move longer, because you're not going to do a one and done here.
No, certainly not.
And where they're planning on going in the long runs, the whole Baron Corbin's next in line, going for the Universal title against Seth Rollins. Yay!
Woo.
This summer's gonna
So, another way I look at this is just another example of them showing that Raw is Vince McMahon's big boy, big baby of top, like Seth Rollins, the top guy on Raw, beating AJ Styles, the top guy who was on SmackDown.
No, thank you.
It's gonna be that way.
I wish it weren't.
Oh yeah, of course, but
what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
But meantime, as I don't know about you guys, but now I feel like we're getting into the really good stuff. Starting off with Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship. Whose go is it?
It is my go.
It is your go. Okay.
And I don't see Kofi losing the belt.
Mm-hmm.
As honestly, I could see them actually keeping this feud going. Well, I see this feud going a lot, continuing after this more than Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. Now, especially with the adding of Sami Zayn into the feud, go ahead, keep this feud going.
Yeah,
there's definitely a lot more.
I'm gonna have to second this. Again, they're with the way Kofi's being booked and how hot he still is. I'm convinced that this isn't going to be a transition. This is absolutely not a transitional reign. This is going to be an extended feud with one of my favorite guys on the roster in Kevin Owens. They got good stuff here, and it's not going to end now. And it's not going to end with Kevin Owens beating Kofi Kingston on Sunday.
And I believe this is going to be the last of the unanimous votes, because I've got Kofi Kingston as well. First of all, you're not going to take it off of him in his first pay-per-view title defense after WrestleMania. And second of all, as you said, there's a lot more story to tell here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Money in the Bank, pancakes for all.
There you go. Now we're getting into the Becky matches. On this list, I've got Becky going first, whether she goes... Becky and Charlotte.
Becky's going first.
Becky and Charlotte going first.
I hope she goes first, because...
I sincerely hope so, too, or else
that would just be a very confusing situation we would be in.
But yes, we've got Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship first. I believe it's my go?
It's Brian's go.
Brian's go.
Okay.
Getting the order wrong.
I'm going to get both predictions out of the way right here, because first of all, I'm saying that she's going to lose one title.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're going to split it back up so that there's different champions on different shows. Again, I think Becky Lynch is going to go over to Raw, because I think that whoever is in the first match is going to lose and then beat down Becky, making her vulnerable for the second person to swoop in and take the title. And I believe that they would do that for Charlotte before they would do that for Lacey. I think there's more story to tell with Lacey, and that would be the continuation of their feud on Raw. So I see Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans going first. Lacey Evans giving a nice big go of it, because I do like the work she's been doing since she actually started getting in the ring instead of all that walking around stuff. The walking around stuff is okay, but she turned into a beast when she got into the ring, and I like that. She'll be champion soon, but I don't think they give it to her first shot. So Lacey Evans is going to give a go of it. Becky Lynch is going to overcome. And then Lacey Evans, being all pissed off with herself, goes epic beatdown, takes her out, leaves her vulnerable for later on, and Charlotte Flair comes out and takes the SmackDown Women's title.
Fool, what do you think?
I'm kind of at a different boat here. I do agree she's going to lose one belt. It's just the question on which one. And the way I see it happening I see Becky actually winning both matches. And whoever wins the women's Money in the Bank will take advantage on the fact that she took 2 epic beatdown matches and still managed to win. She's tired. She's beat down. This is the time for someone to take advantage of that situation. So, yeah, I think she's going to show her dominance in winning both matches, but lose at a cash-in.
Interesting. See, this is what I love about Money in the Bank. There's so many different ways that this can be done. However, again, there certainly will not be a consensus on this one.
I know where he's going to go with this one.
Yeah, it's obvious with the way I've been talking. Yes, she's going to lose one of them, but again, I'm going to say she beats Charlotte Flair, but loses to Lacey Evans.
And we're here now. We now have...
But
we now actually have a fight for the Biefcase.
At least you two do, and then it's just depending on whether or not you guys are going to cash it in on me or not.
If we beat you,
because I'm pretty sure we won't have a consensus on the women's Money in the Bank either.
But I will say just about Lacey Evans doing this.
It's not even just if you beat me; if you tie with me too.
I thought there were actually need to be. Oh no, wait! It was a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm. That's a tiebreaker. Yep.
Interesting. But anyway, just let me finish out this thought.
Interesting. Don't you just be like, oh, now I'm just going to pick all your matches to make sure we tie, just so I can cash in.
No.
You would so do that in a cheese move.
Well, now that the troll move is in my mind, maybe I do that, Tarek.
Shouldn't have brought it up.
Oh no, he already thought of it. He's saying he didn't think about it, but I know you. You're definitely capable. You're definitely going to do something like that.
I'm thinking about Lacey Evans right now. Is my mind really on the belt at this point?
Shame on you if it's not.
Hey, it takes a lot to distract my attention off of the championship belt.
Hey, my favorite superstar is in 2 matches. You don't see me taking my eye off the prize. That's it.
Well, then maybe I should go into my rationale for my choice outside of just extemporaneous activities. I'm actually going to go with Lacey Evans to actually win this thing because I feel like she would make a good central figure, heel figure for Raw in the women's division. Plus, I've got a feeling that they're going to send Becky Lynch back to SmackDown and continue more of her feuds there. Can she continue to chase Lacey for another month or two? They can do that if they want, and they can just invoke whatever dumb, wild card rule, whatever that they want to. But I feel like I'm a big believer in you need to strike when the iron's hot and you need to get people at the peak of their interest. And right now I feel like since they know it worked so well with Kofi, not saying that the road is similar, but if they're going to truly shake things up, if they're really going to get people at the peak of their interest with Lacey, they need to do it now. And I think they've got a really, really good shot of doing it this way and having Lacey Evans come out the victor. Becky Lynch beats Charlotte, moves on, just done with it. That feud is done, or someone new. That is my rationale. And now we are moving over to our Money in the Bank matches, starting with the women's Money in the Bank. We've got Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Naomi versus Bayley versus Mandy Rose versus Ember Moon versus Carmella, and just announced today, taking Alexa Bliss's place, Nikki Cross.
Quick Scholar's quick talk, since you brought that up, since now that's brought up.
Yes,
Do you think they're slowly just going to have Alexa retire from the ring and have her be Nikki Cross's manager?
I don't know about Nikki Cross's manager. Like I'd like to see where that story's going, but I'm not saying anything more than that yet. I think that the injuries that she's had in the last year are very concerning, and it would probably be a good idea at least for now, maybe do like a Daniel Bryan type thing. Like take a year, maybe take a couple years and get everything straight before you try to get back in the ring and compete. But as of right now, she's just health hazard, man. That's it. That's every time she gets into the ring, she hurts something. So I do believe she should take a step back.
Should she probably take a step back? Maybe. Do I think she's going to take a step back? Not necessarily. I do think they might shift her around a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be... I don't think she's going to go away forever. I really do not. They've got a little too much invested in her at this point, and if she wants to really wrestle again, I'm sure she can push the envelope and get it done. But in terms of who walks away from the women's Money in the Bank with the Biefcase, it's my turn?
Mm-hmm.
For this one, I'm going to go with Nikki Cross. She had too good of a showing, and the pathway now, as far as I'm concerned, is there. She was always presented as a threat. She's a draw, and just having the allure of just Nikki coming out of nowhere, just sort of lurking with the Biefcase, and just sort of like going like TikTok, play with Nikki, whatever you want to do. I dig it. I'm interested. And I think other people will be interested too. I want to see it happen. I think it will happen. Nikki Cross for the win.
For me, I don't think Raw Superstar wins this. Because I've got...
What is Nikki Cross? Is she a Raw Superstar?
She's Raw. She's Raw. I believe she's Raw.
What's that? I don't know anymore.
But I believe...
Nikki Cross, Lacey Evans.
No, there's a reason why I didn't pick Lacey Evans. And I think only one of Vince McMahon's cash cows that he believes are above all else is going
like a
to
true
win.
Becky fan.
Is going to win. Okay.
Now who's biased?
And the reason why I'm not picking a cash in for tonight for Money in the Bank is because they did that last year. I don't think they're going to do it again. What I want out of this one is to have that annoying little bug that just comes out, threatens to do it, and holds it for like 8 or 9 months. That kind of deal. Because those were always the best Money in the Bank reigns for me. The Edge, the Seth Rollins. The ones who would just come out and tease it and all that and just fuck with people's heads with the briefcase. They'd come out, go just kind of lurk around, and then go to the back holding the briefcase the entire time. And I think that only one of Vince McMahon's favorite female superstars is going to win at this event, and I believe that he's going to give it to Mandy Rose.
Interesting pick.
And the only other one that makes any kind of sense to me is Bayley, because that can be the impetus to her heel turn on whoever, whatever. But for me, I think that Mandy Rose has shown a lot this year, and I think that Vince really, I think that Vince is going to put it on her.
Kind of took the words right out of my mouth, but it's not in the way you're thinking. I'm going to go with Bayley. And I think that's going to insinuate Bayley's heel turn tonight. Or tonight. That night.
Interesting.
They threw that little hint at it when it was with Charlotte and Becky, and she'll probably even use that to her advantage of being like, I'm the forgotten 4 horsewoman of the 4 of us. I'm putting my mark on why I was a part of that 4 horsewomen. And I see her just taking advantage and of Becky facing, as you put it, Brian, Vince McMahon's Golden Girls. Like I said, spoken like a true Becky Lynch fan. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Bayley on this one, and I think she's gonna cash in. And can I just?
I just don't think they do it twice.
I'm gonna throw this on air for all three of us. If we call a cash in at any point of if they do it at a pay-per-view show and one of us calls a cash in and it actually happens, does that count as a point?
It should.
I'm going to say no, strictly because we don't know yet if we're all going to be present at the same time. Just because it can be like, okay, we can call it way too soon. Plus, I don't know. There's the timing on that is going to be very strict and very bizarre. I'm going to say for this, let's go with just as it is. Just play it as it lies. No extra points.
Maybe just for the total at the end of the year, not for the actual show itself. Like that's like a tiebreaker or whatever. You called the cash in or whatever. If there's a tie at the end of the year for Scholar of the Year or whatever, you called the cash in, you get it. I kind of.
All right.
We'll go.
I guess we'll figure that one out off camera.
Yeah, this is gonna require a little bit of discussion.
I just don't feel like they would do the same thing 2 pay-per-views in a row, 2 years in a row. Because Alexa Bliss cashed in at Money in the Bank last year too. I don't. Would yours make sense in the long run? Of course it does. But I just don't know. I think it would feel weird if they did the same thing 2 years in a row at the same pay-per-view. That kind of deal.
I don't look at the big difference on it. Yes, it would be the same night like last year, but Alexa pulled a Seth Rollins and put herself in the match. I don't see. The difference is she's going to take advantage. She's going to pull an edge and take advantage of a worn down Becky Lynch with that. So,
all right.
And I think Bayley has done all that she can as a face. She needs a big character change, and her winning the briefcase. Well, for WWE, the briefcase. That is the Biefcase.
The Biefcase.
Her winning the briefcase and her basically making an impact that night would help her find that spark that she desperately needs.
All right, now finally for the final match in the card, which will probably not be the last one on the card actual show.
No.
We've got the men's Money in the Bank match. We've got Sami Zayn versus Ricochet versus Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin versus Ali versus Finn Balor versus Andrade versus Randy Orton. Brian? Tarek.
It's my go.
What do you got?
I'm just going to start this off saying I'm actually really glad that they took Braun out of this match.
Except he's definitely still going to have a part.
He's gonna show up.
You can throw Sami Zayn out of the running for winner right now.
Because it'll be that.
Because Brony's going to kill him.
That's going to be that. Having him in the match, that is going to be the repeat of last year, where it's just everyone trying to take him down. They take him down for 10 minutes, and then he cleans house.
Yeah, this year he's only going to take out one person.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably take everyone out and then just take Sami Zayn with him and then
throw him back in the dumpster.
Bring another garbage truck out and throw him in the dumpster again. I looked at this lineup, and to be perfectly honest, no one was really built as a they'll definitely be that clean winner. But for me, I think when it comes to the winning of the briefcases, I think they're going to be a Raw guy and a SmackDown woman. So I guess this one I'm just going to be I'm just gonna kind of go with my heart on this one and just think who deserves it more. And I'm gonna go with Drew McIntyre. I got nothing else to back that up. It's just of all the ones who I can actually see who can benefit for having the briefcase, and as Brian put, hold it for a good long while, 8 or 9 months, and then finally cashing in. Yeah, I'm going to go with Drew. It's the equivalent of him having a belt, which we've been saying for the past year. Drew needs a belt, so this could be a good replacement.
Drew is a strong contender, and you can't really go too wrong picking him. However, I'm convinced that they're going to blindside us a little bit. For this one, I'm going to go with Baron Corbin.
Ugh. To be fair, I honestly can't argue that, because Vince McMahon has the biggest hard-on for him.
With the way they've been handling him and the sort of chronic heel position that they put him in, I'm got a feeling they're going to rewrite the past on this one. I'm going to go with, I think Baron, as much as I think Drew McIntyre would be a great winner, I don't think he needs the briefcase as much as other people might. I see him as not being less of a cowardly heel cash in like Edge. I see him as being just playing up to his name of the Scottish psychopath, and just, if he doesn't like you, he's going to show up and beat you down. Baron Corbin is sort of the slimy, smarmy kind of guy who is tough but not a total psychopath and will resort to cheating.
I kind of see Baron Corbin look like he's about to win, and him sneaking in to get that big win.
He's that guy, yeah.
And then Drew McIntyre gets his revenge
Drew
of all
McIntyre just turns.
Of all the times Baron tries to get the one up over him, pushing him out to continue on of the Universal title match, going that
he finally had enough.
I want to see Drew McIntyre get the best of Baron Corbin from all the times Baron Corbin got the better of him.
And here's
I can't argue yours, just because, not just because of what you said of him getting the heel heat, but it's just the fact that Vince McMahon has that big hard on for him.
Here's the only reason why I'm not
I can see
going.
why Triple H is pissed.
Here's the only reason I don't say it's Baron Corbin. He already has a pin over the champion in recent weeks. He doesn't need the briefcase. He already has a pin over the champion. So he's in line for the next title shot, no matter what he does here.
I want to see.
So that's why I'm not going with Baron Corbin.
I want to see someone win the briefcase, get a title match, lose, and then just use the cash in to just get it over. It's start this match over. I'm cashing in.
That would be ridiculous, and I would love it.
Yeah, which means that Baron Corbin can't be the one to do it. That's it. So, the way they've been building it up since he came back, okay, he's had the best build-up of anybody in this match over the last year. They've said out loud that he's future Universal or WWE champion material. And we're going to have that intimidating, not the annoying, swarmy guy holding the briefcase. We're going to have that intimidating guy who just walks out and the champion in the ring is like, oh shit, that kind of deal. Which, you have the guys in here for the high flying. A lot of people are bringing up Andrade. I think that's a good dark horse pick. Just that guy.
He was my number 2.
But I don't think they pulled the trigger on him yet. I
think getting a pin on Finn Balor kind of solidified.
They're gonna give him the secondary titles first before they go all out with him.
I think him and Ali are gonna be feuding with Finn Balor for the IC title for a while.
I can see that.
So when you take them out of it, you take Sami Zayn out of it too, because he's gonna be annihilated by Braun Strowman. Take him out, that kind of deal. The only one that really makes sense to me out of the rest is McIntyre. because, as I said, the credentials are there. They're building him up as this force who they say on the air, future WWE champion material and all that. They've been building him up, and they're starting the break between Corbin and McIntyre, which is very good for all involved. Nobody wants to see that anymore. Mm-hmm. And the way to do that, it's between McIntyre and Corbin for me. Mm-hmm. And Corbin already has a pin over the champion. So he's already got a title shot in the docket. It's in his back pocket back there. He doesn't need the briefcase. We're going to go with Drew McIntyre on this one.
I actually didn't expect that, honestly. For some reason, I thought you were going to go different and you were going to pick Randy Orton. When you were saying that, like, as soon as he walks in, you're like, holy shit. I was expecting you to say Randy Orton.
No, because
Randy
Orton wouldn't walk in.
He would just show up out of nowhere.
He'd show up out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. he wouldn't walk out. There's no intimidation there. You don't even know he's there by the time he's done with you.
I think that's the only reason why I would want to see Randy Orton win a briefcase again. Just so, like, the champ, like, seriously, out of nowhere tactic. And him completely taking advantage of that with the briefcase. Not have Triple H pedigree you and he just walks out. Him just out of nowhere, RKO, hands the briefcase, picks him up, RKO again, 1, 2, 3.
And
that would be a fun visual.
It would be okay, but then again, like it was said, we've seen that before, though.
Which one?
Just Randy Orton with the briefcase. With the briefcase.
That's the briefcase.
Pardon me. Yes, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
I feel like we've seen that already before. Randy Orton has more than had his time in the sun, and he really doesn't need the briefcase anymore.
He's there for a few awesome RKOs off ladders. and
pretty much.
And that's pretty much it.
Pretty much. But yeah, that is our predictions for Money in the Bank 2019.
It took a while for us to get differences, but when we did, oh boy.
We kind of got back on track, you and I, with Drew McIntyre.
A little bit.
A little bit. But then again,
as far as it ended with Becky Lynch.
As far as the beefcase
we
goes,
knew it would.
As far as the beefcase goes, there's more than enough differences to make this show very, very interesting. But now we're turning it over to you, our wrestling viewing and discussion audience. Who do you think is going to walk away with which briefcases and beefcases? Who is going to win? What do you think? Let us know anywhere across the internet, YouTube, Facebook, wherever we are. We want to hear from you, especially in particular on the Twitter machines, starting with our main account at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode uploads. And of course, you can also contact us on our personal accounts. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at The Avatar.
Brian, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me, Scholar Jeff, at I'm Robbie Rage. Join us for all the fun and conversation. See who's going to walk away with the Scholars of Wrestling briefcase and become Mr. Scholar in the Bank. But let's face it, you already know who it's going to be.
Me!
It's going to be me.
It's going to be me.
It's going to be me.
Me!
You already know it, because you already know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you all for Money in the Bank. No, it's going to be me.
All that's playing in my head now is, it's going to be
me.